It's another episode of Poker Time. We're playing 5, 10, 25 cash money. It's exciting.
Is it 5, 20, 25 for good now? Have they decided to do that?
I don't know, but they're currently playing that, and we see that Waterboy has opened the King 10 of clubs.
Seems reasonable.
BMW Blake with a very pretty ace jack of hearts. He can play this any way he wants. Looks
Well,
like
he's not going to fold it, but yeah, 3-bet is totally reasonable.
small 3-bet, out of position.
That is very small. I mean, it isolates. It gets rid of Brewer and Jeremy, but I don't know if that... You want some fold equity, even though it's a pretty hand.
Agreed. He really forces Waterboy to call. Waterboy, this is a hand Waterboy might have found a fold with a big enough 3-bet, but...
With Waterboy stacked up being as it is.
Well, Blake flops unbelievably well.
Yeah, that's quite a flop. And Waterboy might continue with the backdoor not flush draw and the gut shot.
Yeah, there are only 2 jacks
Oh,
left.
Blake checks. Is he going for the check raise? Is he trying to get it all in on the flop here?
Waterboy probably should bet this. Looks like he's going to. Falls right into the trap. I don't know if he's going for a check raise. He doesn't need to check raise here.
No, he's got all the showdown value in the world.
Well.
All of it in the world. Nobody else has any because he took it all.
But it can't be wrong to check raise this hand either. This hand is so good.
Can't be sad to get it in. I mean, you're not getting it in against hands mostly that you have beat, but there are some flush draws that'll get it in against you.
Yeah, Jack 10 of hearts. Oh, nope.
Nope.
Can't have that one. There's the raise
King
to
10 of hearts.
350. King 10 of hearts, yeah. Oh, King 10 of hearts would be an amazing spot. But, and I don't see how Waterboy can continue now for 200 when they're just not nearly deep enough.
He could jam if he thinks the line is strange. But this is usually aces or queens.
Yep. Or ace queen.
Yep.
Waterboy is not folded, though. Is he thinking about taking one off here because he's in position to see what Blake is going to do on the turn?
I think they need to be about 4 times as deep to make that a profitable play.
I mean, you would need Blake to be check folding a lot on the turn. Well, he's using a time extension.
With the gut shot to the nuts and the backdoor nut flush draw, I would be fine with the call if they were, 3,500 effective maybe.
Of course. And he looks like he is going to. No. Yes. Did he move in or did he make the call?
He calls.
Well, I think he's trying to use the power of position to scare Blake off here, and that is not going to work. There are 2 outs. That is not one of them. That's a bad card.
Complete brick. I imagine Blake's just going to move in.
Yeah, a 9 or a jack would have been an interesting card, but there's no calling now.
I'm being compensated for a death that's not related to me, I believe. But to answer your question, yes.
Blake gets pretty good value with that hand.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's just about maximum value against King 10 of clubs.
Yeah.
I think you are.
We're just getting warm.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Take it down.
But truthfully, like people that pay like
I guess
$200 for Comcast, which we did, and I got it just for League Bet. Like I had Comcast because I want to watch the Blazer games.
Yeah.
So I was paying, at least $190 a month for like your basic cable and all that, and I was like, this is so stupid.
Yeah.
And then we were here one day, and he was talking about it, and I'm like, dude, I'm in. And let me tell you, I wish I would have done it years and years ago. I paid $40 a month.
Premier folds King Jack off.
No, he doesn't.
There we go.
Somebody's jumping the gun with entering the buttons and stuff.
Come on.
Blake is feeling it. If you remember last episode, Blake was playing literally all hands because he was clearly tilting.
Yeah.
Maybe he's back to a little bit more even keel after that ace-jack hand. We'll see. But 6-4 off is still pretty weak.
Yeah, at least he's on the button. And there's bottom 2.
It's Blake time. Jeremy does have an open ender and a backdoor flush draw.
Jeremy's really got something too. How is this going to play out?
I feel like 5-7 on a 6-4 board gets there more than other open enders. I think that's just true.
Blake bets 55, and how is Jeremy going to play this?
Then I bought Fubo to make it legit, and then they
There's the
sucked, and I
raise.
turned it off.
Is that 200?
'Cause I can't watch them anymore.
Blake could just be joshing on the button.
For sure. You win a lot right here, but turns out Blake's got a very strong hand. It's hard to think of hands that Jeremy can have that are beating Blake. I guess he can have Queen 4 suited and Queen 6 suited.
Yeah, he was in the big blind.
Yep. But that's it. Those are the hands, and those are blocked.
Blake could definitely put in the 3-bet here, but calling is fine too.
Yep.
Remote chance.
Jeremy almost certainly putting Blake on a queen.
Well.
He's going to think
What are my
maybe I can rep
Maybe we'll
more
get
full houses
swept
than
like we
Blake
got
at this
with
point,
New
but turns out
Orleans,
Blake has the
swept
full
by
house.
Golden
Yep.
State,
That's
like we
very
did
generous.
also,
Yeah,
remember?
let's see what if
Golden
they do
State
make
Jeremy now
swept us in the first.
actively trying to fold out essentially a queen.
New
Yeah, queen,
Orleans
jack, queen,
swept
10.
us in the first.
Queen whatever, because it's Blake.
It's got to be like close.
Good luck folding out this hand, sir.
I do not believe that's going to happen. Maybe if a queen hits the river, which Jeremy would never bluff.
Right.
But if he somehow accidentally bluffed, then maybe Blake would fold.
Yep.
Other than that,
Favorite
Blake is
version
not
of the
going
team,
away.
I started being a fan
Did
of
Blake raise or did Blake call?
when I moved here.
Yeah.
Looks like he
And
put
my
in the
favorite
raise.
version was that version.
Interesting.
That's a mistake.
Aldridge,
Yeah.
You're in position. Let Jeremy fire one more time.
Yeah.
You're trying to get value out of 4-4 right now. You're going to get that value later, right?
I think Blake was mistakenly thinking that Jeremy could have check raised just a 6 on the flop. Trying to get value out of that.
Yeah.
The Brandon Roy versus Yao
But
Ming.
you and I
Oh, you watched the real one.
know, at least we think we know, that Jeremy would probably never check raise that hand, just a 6.
Just a rando 6?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Quarter where he had the perfect fourth.
Almost never.
Oh, I hated Brandon Roy, not as a player, but he just was so obnoxious to listen to his whiny voice.
Still, nice one for Blake. 2 nice ones in a row.
I believe it's
Yeah.
it's
And his stack is starting to look like your cell phone's getting good service. You know, it's got that
That's
look.
right.
And I had a showdown in
That is right. Let's see if he continues to play every hand. Oh, he's got
Well,
another
you
good
got to
hand.
play this one.
He's just going to limp it, though.
That is an odd, interesting play. Brewer might isolate, and he does.
Where's
it's like, I think I'm
turns out Blake has the right kind of hand to be
he's like, well, let's just
to have when Brewer's isolating him because he's got him dominated.
Yep.
Much like the way the Ultimate Warrior had Jimmy Superfly Snuka dominated in '85.
Exactly. You don't have to say what the audience is already thinking.
You're right.
That's bad commentary.
You're right.
definitely a player that
Brewer checks it back, looking for some help on the turn. There it is.
They both flopped 2 back doors. One of Brewer's came in.
Brewer's got to bet this, right? Blake doesn't bet again. You pick up the heart draw.
It'd be interesting to see if Blake continues. Looks like he's not going to.
He's just going to fold it.
love
Brewer's
it.
like, oh, man.
That's a better hand than I expected.
He's like, what the hell? You limped with that hand and you've been playing every hand. How do you have King Jack suited?
No, I just mean now.
We went back. Yeah.
I'm not going back. I'm going back
It's
to
not Chauncey. You know what Chauncey did? Here's what I'll say about Chauncey. They, in the beginning of the season, they were playing Chauncey basketball. They were playing defense. They were playing. They were kind of incorporating his system. About 30 games in, they're like, let's go back to the scoring thing again. Like they abandoned it. It's like
Yeah, let's
it was
go back
working.
to 3-yard
You were
drive.
beating good teams and you were playing defense.
Yeah.
L-Dog looks a bit like a cardinal or something, doesn't he?
Who?
L-Dog?
Like a cardinal? Oh, just because of the shape of his hood?
Yeah. Like that.
That was pretty good.
Would I
Thank
trade
you.
him for someone else? Absolutely. But do I think he's hot garbage? No. He's a very capable player. He's excellent for chemistry.
Yeah,
on our
he's
team.
a capable mediocre.
I could see him being some sort of,
Would you pick Drew
you know,
over him?
Middle Ages religious figure with that type of hood.
Exactly. That's all I'm saying.
That's all anybody means to say.
Our dealer Devin has to make change. It ain't easy. These guys and the way they put their chips out.
These frickin' guys.
It's incredible.
Jokic be the one?
And, well, one pair for L-Dog. Gut shot for Jeremy.
We will see a turn card unless L-Dog goes nuts with the sizing.
I mean, L-Dog is just going to check and call or fold, right? Because Jeremy's got the initiative.
L-Dog looks like he's going to bet.
You are correct. I just assumed he was putting his chips back, but
we got a lot of snow.
I'm wrong.
He's betting middle pair out of flow, out of position.
And he gets called, and now he thinks he's losing probably to an ace, right? And so Jeremy's going to have some opportunities even if he doesn't improve.
Well, that's going to make L-Dog feel a little better.
Is he really going to fire again? So weird.
Turns out to be
Yeah.
the perfect play.
Well, not really, because the queen... Oh, no,
No.
he blocks the queen, though. There's only
Yeah.
3 outs for Jeremy, so I wouldn't call it the perfect play,
Okay.
But he is ahead.
Yeah.
If Jeremy had King Jack, that would be the perfect bet, right?
Yep.
Because Jeremy's probably going to call him again.
Speaking of players using their chips and making change hard for the dealers, a great byproduct of the big blind ante in tournaments is you no longer have to worry about the small chip hoarder at the table. You know, every once in a while you run into that guy who won't make change
The
and
worst.
won't give away the small chips and collects them on purpose.
Yep.
So annoying.
He has passion.
That's a thing of the past
Sure.
for the most part.
Yeah, I was going to say it's still possible, but it's much less likely. You're right.
Yeah, last year I had a.
Yeah, where it's their ante, and every time they put out a big chip instead of
Yeah.
a small chip kind of thing. Yeah, and they get change every time.
Yeah.
Oh, that is the worst.
No, the center we had with the twin brother, Lopez.
Plumley?
Creamio's hand is pretty.
I don't think most people would say that about Ace Jack offsuit.
It's pretty.
Yeah, he's good.
Blake's hand is pretty.
He has 24 rebounds.
Creamio's hand is strong.
I feel like Blake needs to like shave his knuckles a little bit before I call it pretty, but whatever. To each his own, Grant. We all
Yeah.
have our kinks.
Well, you know,
Tar Heels. I still
and mine is
blue and color.
Blake's hand. Good flop for Blake.
Yeah, an ace would be devastating for Caribio on the turn. Like with the quick call, and there's a bunch of interesting turn cards here, and
Well, that's more Blake's range than Creamio's.
really hard for Caribio to.
And Blake checks it back.
Wow,
I'm not a
five
fan of that.
high.
Not a fan of that.
Still, if Caribio checks again, Blake can win with almost any bet.
I
on
don't.
The river.
I don't think so. I think if Creamio checks and Blake bets, Creamio's going to call.
Well, we're not
When-
going to find out because
Oh,
Caribio's going to bluff it.
Blake immediately. He was just playing for the straight up equity of his hand, which is not unreasonable in some cases. But on that range advantage 3 for him, I think Blake probably should have taken a shot.
Agreed. Right, especially when you have that open ender too. It's
Right,
such a good
and
spot.
and the nut low.
Yep. Yes.
Is Ant injured?
Yeah. It's a really reasonable spot to bet.
I think he'll be all right.
And he probably wins. I think he wins on the turn with the bet almost always.
Yeah, and if not the turn, he could follow through on the river.
If he
It's
wanted
a little
to.
scary.
Yeah. But you could put a lot of pressure on a 10
Yeah.
with a big bet. I don't know if Carino is going to fold or not though. Anyway, Jeremy with ace-9 suited raises it up.
Nurkic is like the more.
Everybody's least favorite suited ace.
Nurkic jersey engaged.
Nurkic is like the more.
Ace-7 suited is worse.
I like a7 suited better than ace9
Why?
suited. It's clearly prettier.
You are crazy. A 9 is a way more aesthetic.
Okay, but we can agree that ace8 suited is better than ace9 suited.
No, I know.
You have to agree with that.
I do not.
Ace8
I will
suited
not.
and ace6 suited make more flushes than ace9 and ace7 suited. I think
we're
it's
not
really
talking about
the
that.
debate is really between ace9 and ace7.
We're not in any way talking about who makes more flushes. Obviously, you're right about that, but I'm talking about just the look.
Hey, full house for Jeremy. Not going to get paid, but
See if
whatever.
Jeremy just checks it back again, though. I would expect him to.
There's
check
not
it back
really a
lot.
reason to bet, but he's going to do it because of the haircut.
I think he's betting because of balance, because he would bet that a lot as a bluff. So
Yeah,
he just
of
wants
course.
to have it sometimes.
He knows that
too.
Brewer is a thinking player who's going to be aware of that.
Yeah.
So,
But that said, it's really
Yeah.
hard to get called by almost anything from Brewer.
yeah.
Obnoxious, honestly.
And out of shape.
He's complaining about everything.
And I mean, like, ever since he stopped drinking like 3 liters of soda
He
every day.
looks like the Pillsbury
He had
Doughboy.
No, he doesn't. He looks
and
good now. Are you kidding?
I
He's
love his
like-
game. Don't get me wrong. I got no
Like,
problem with him.
He's
But he's
soft.
obnoxious,
No,
just like
dude.
Draymond Green. Super obnoxious.
No.
Would I love Draymond to be on my team? Yeah.
Like a muscular
He's
dude.
just this big ogre who
Wow.
makes every shot. And
He's
just
also.
Oh, they're talking about Draymond Green.
He's got good IQ.
It's not weird.
He's got good
Why would it be weird to talk about a famous person?
He's super
People do it all the time. It is weird if you let yourself think about it, but people do it all the time. Hey, Blake's back.
There it is.
That's the Blake we know and love,
Call the raise with A3 off from the small blind.
also known as the worst position at the table.
Yep. And it's the, the second worst hand in poker, essentially.
It's hard to jump.
Right
So
up there.
it's in that range.
He's got longevity.
And he flops the gutter.
Yep, Brewer with top pair.
Overs for Waterboy.
Seriously.
Will Waterboy
when he's
fire?
under the basket,
Nope.
he just like light touches it in.
And
You're not gonna get hurt.
7 on the turn. That's a double gutter. No, it's the same gutter for Blake. A 5
Just
just a straight either
Different.
way.
It's a different
Yeah.
way to make this straight. Brewer does have
Takes less
a
steps,
straight draw now.
less heartbeats.
No, he doesn't.
We all know
No,
that.
he doesn't.
Yeah,
I was wrong.
less
Blake with the
heartbeats,
1
less
over.
time,
And the gutter lets it go.
and he looks like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
no. No.
I thought you were talking about Nurkic still. So
No, we're still on Joker. We're talking about real. We're talking about real basketball.
We're talking
player.
grammar. We're talking grammar.
I now actually put together what you were saying.
God, if this is
And yeah, you're
televised, I wonder if Nurkic is going to kick my ass. And Joker.
Everybody knows those guys totally watch the show.
Yeah, yeah, right. They're like,
Kings for Waterboy. He has not rebought after getting a little bit short here.
Were you guys
Well, maybe that'll work to his advantage. We'll see. Blake looks like he called the $10 instead of the raise.
Did
In fact-
Waterboy limp? He limped.
Oh, he limped with kings.
It's not going to work out in the way that
sort
he
of a
wanted.
nightmare when it goes this way, but now he knows that it went this way at least.
At least he's aware that he's in the nightmare.
But
Dan from Dan and Shay.
yeah, and there's 2 pair for Blake right away,
and
then
a
open
very
it up for Jeremy.
scary flop for kings.
Everyone has something.
Yeah.
He's gonna bet his kings, understandably. Is Blake gonna raise or call?
I think it's a mandatory raise with
This many
4 players in the hand.
Yeah,
You
Gets a
could, you
blow.
could fold to a 3-bet if you want. There's no flush draws out there.
There's the raise, and now suddenly he's putting pressure on Jeremy, and I don't know that Jeremy can stay in with the naked 8. Let's see.
He might think that Blake is primed to blow up, so he might want to call just because of that.
Maybe. Looks like you are correct. And Waterboy kind of has to call, too, for just 50, 60 bucks.
I don't
more.
know. When Jeremy cold calls there, it's pretty scary.
I
But
mean, he has a lot of pair and straight draws type stuff.
Yeah.
Jack 10, 10-8, 9-8.
He's no Gobert.
You have to proceed with caution, that's for sure. Only a 9 or a king right now would do it for Waterboy. That's Jeremy's card, though.
Waterboy now drawing dead. Blake needs a 10 or a 7.
Will Jeremy lead, or is he going to let everyone check this through and get their free cards?
He's going to check because I think it's the whole idea is that Blake is going to do something.
Yeah,
And
but-
I guess that's not going to happen.
And it's going to be really hard to get any value now for Jeremy.
Blake's hand's a little bit too good. That's the problem for Jeremy.
Yeah,
And they
and it-
just check it down, and Jeremy's going to win with his 8.
Yeah.
He's on a rush.
This freaking guy.
I mean, if you're playing for the...
Yeah,
That's what I get for slow playing my hand pre-flop.
Yeah.
Or post-flop.
Yeah, it,
like he barely
But it's
does.
interesting, like, he's playing like
We have returned.
5-10, maybe 2, maybe
very exciting.
Game, and just like
You have Steven Adams going like
chilling,
this and boxing.
you know,
Everyone's
and he
folding.
makes like,
You should get some.
10 million a year. And he's just like, hey, like, I'm gonna play for a couple grand, and that's
well,
it.
here's your
You're supposed to
opportunity.
repop me.
Jeremy with 2 cards. We don't know what they are.
You flop 2 pairs? I didn't see
It's
that.
great.
I wish I could
Jack
play
8.
with you, but I got that
And kept getting
gone.
worse.
He wins.
And I'm like, ooh, maybe someone has 10 jacks. Oh, no, they don't have 10.
Damn, I should have re-raised your ass.
For a long time.
Yeah.
We just can't resist an opportunity.
Elway?
Yeah. He was going there.
I feel like everyone's having too good a time.
Yeah, somebody needs to get hurt.
Where's the sadness?
Come on, it's poker. You're supposed to just be depressed.
There's supposed to be 2 or 3 people at the table who are super happy, chirping, having a good time, and then 2 or 3 people who are in the dark dungeon of despair.
I don't know. Waterboy and Caremio have been pretty quiet. Maybe they're in the dark dungeon
Maybe
of
they
despair.
are. Maybe they are.
Yeah.
I need to see it, though. I want to feel
You
it.
need the life force.
Where's the visceral experience? Let's get some sadness up in here.
When you saw Caremio there, he was kind of smiling, but it looked like
Yeah.
the smiling through the pain type
A
thing.
rueful smile.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
good. You need that. Blake,
Blake-
is limping ace jack. The limping trend has begun.
He once again has Brewer dominated and getting Brewer to raise.
Jeremy just folds the king jack.
Yep. I
He
like
had
it.
position even.
Yeah, it's King Jack off.
It's position, Jonathan.
It's King Jack off. Blake's going to just call, and back we go. No one has
Well,
anything.
Jeremy would have flopped gut shot with 2 overs.
Checks through.
And they shut
Another deuce.
conversation over.
Deuceinator.
And Blake is going to bet here, and this is just going to end the hand. Gotta believe.
It is the best hand, and it's going to deny equity, and that's just fine.
Yep. So interesting. Brewer's doing these isolation raises with Blake, but never taking shots unless he has really good reasons to. Like, this is the second time we've seen him do it in this episode. And
Yeah.
He checked the flop both times. Last time he turned the flush draw and then bet. And here, there were 3 ways here, admittedly.
It seems that his plan is to go for value against Blake.
Yeah.
He's just isolating with hands that he thinks are better than Blake's range.
Yeah.
like the heart of Blake's range. And then if he flops well enough, he'll go for value and expects that Blake will call a lot more than some other players at the table.
So you put $50 in, and you're in position, and you're like, cool, I get value when I have a good hand, and when I don't lose much.
Yeah,
That's reasonable.
That seems like the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. They can
Which
figure
really
it out.
minimized damage.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess he maybe could have just won that pot, but so be it.
if he heads up between him and Bezos, I guess.
I mean, yeah, that's like he could literally just buy in for 1,000 big blinds and be like,
Queen jack off, though. Yeah, that's worth the raise. King jack off. Throw it in the garbage.
Well, in one of them, you're the raiser, and the other one,
Oh,
you're
and,
not
and
the
now the
raiser.
stakes are increased. It's more of your net worth.
What?
Think about it.
What are you talking about?
$75 is more of Jeremy's net worth than $50 was.
Your calling range has to be stronger
But
than your
what
than your
percentage
raising
of his net
range.
worth is $50, and what percentage is 75?
Well, one
Have
is
you heard
one
of the
is
risk?
50%
Have
more
you
than the
heard
other.
of the risk of ruin, sir?
I have.
It sounds like maybe
have
you've
heard of-
heard the term,
It's a
but you
band,
don't know
right?
how to apply it.
I saw them play at the Starlight.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That was a good show.
I'll leave it to when you
Yeah.
watch the hand.
yeah, dude, go invest in that.
They lean a little too into the nudity for me. I prefer more bands that keep their clothes more on, but still, it was a great show.
We're about to be this antitrust
Good.
lawsuit. Go invest in
Happy for you.
Anytime I can get you not really having a good response to something, it's a big victory.
Is it?
Yep.
7-4 everywhere.
And it's going to be over before it starts for Waterboy.
Waterboy, I guess his plan is to try to spin it up, not add on any money here.
Yeah. He's also opening almost all of his buttons, I've noticed. Almost no matter what the hands are.
Rampage.
Not that he shouldn't be opening 7-4 suited. Not saying that.
Maybe not at that stack depth.
Yeah. Also, like, it's a pretty crappy hand.
Yeah.
You don't have to open it, but you could.
You got to get through 3 blinds, not
yeah.
2.
No. I was just being generous and friendly, but if we're actually going to talk about it, it's completely different.
Yeah.
One of the guys at the radio station was like one of their first big supporters, and so he was telling me like he came down here and just lost. He was trash, and just lost and nobody knew who he was, and just lost a shit ton.
Guys, this is for the players at the table. If you get hungry, L-Dog has some very thin wafers that don't taste like much. That if you just
Oh, I
Yeah,
get
you
it. You're
will.
doing more of the
linear.
it looks like a religious figure
Yeah.
joke. They don't all land. It's okay.
top pair for Jeremy, gut job for Blake. Brewer has a little something too.
Who cares?
It's pretty cheap. Brewer could call once if he really wanted to. Yeah. Try and spike something here. He also has the ace of diamonds, so running diamonds, Brewer could turn that into a bluff if he wanted to get cute.
I mean, that's a pretty ambitious plan. Blake picks up a pair.
Just saying.
You what here? Before you owned it?
Jeremy's likely to still have the best hand. 8-9 did come in.
Yeah.
A little bit scary.
Blake with the blocker and a pair and a gutter. With Brewer behind him, this would be ambitious,
You're lying.
aspirational.
Because you can't keep a secret.
Let's it go. I think Brewer will probably be done with the hand.
You can
even
tell. Even by the way he's talking with his face, that's a folding face for sure. For sure.
A happy folding face, though.
Well, Jeremy had the best hand. That's his pot.
That's all you ever want to see is the best hand win.
Right.
No, I could tell. I could tell.
I always thought that was interesting when people would get upset that they were bluffed. It's like, that's the game.
People don't like losing at poker,
Yeah.
and some people don't handle it well emotionally.
I don't like being bluffed, having said that.
Right, but you don't get outwardly upset.
No, I keep it inside. But I'm not upset because someone bluffed me. I'm upset that they successfully bluffed me.
Of
It's
course,
a little
of
different.
course.
Like, I feel like, oh, I'm a dummy now. I'm the stupid guy.
Yeah, that's how it feels.
Yeah.
Ronaldo, Messi, Pele.
But of course,
Waterboy limping king deuce suited.
it's getting weird.
It's getting weird.
They know this has been a long session. This is we're coming into the end of hour 4 with this, and
Also not a
they know they're going to be ending soon, and maybe everything's getting a little loosey goosey. Brewer could have really popped up ace 10 and doesn't.
I imagine Jeremy will do the
Has
popping.
to. He's forced to bet to raise big here. Yeah. Let's see. Yep, there goes Waterboy's king deuce. I gotta believe Caremio is sticking around, and Blake obviously is too.
Brewer could fold this hand.
Yep.
He really could. It's not ideal.
A fold is pretty reasonable here. Out of position 4 ways with ace 10
Yeah.
off. Like, what are we hoping for? I guess Broadway? Trip 10s? There's not much there.
Brewer does the subtle stuff well that a lot of players would just call there. You know,
I mean, you are getting an amazing price to close.
but it's
the
just not the
action.
right hand. It's a bad spot.
It's a pretty crappy hand, and it's so hard. You can't really like raise there because your story is so bizarre.
Yeah.
No one's gonna believe that shit. Anyway, Jeremy's just gonna win with a tiny bet.
Unless Blake gets a little frisky,
I mean, is Blake gonna get frisky?
we can only hope.
I'm hoping he wants to. Look at him. He wants to so bad.
Yeah, but he already gave up.
Raise it.
You
raise
could
it.
tell he already gave
Yeah,
up.
look at him. That's the. Yeah.
I got the
He was doing the "I don't believe you" thing.
Yeah.
I don't believe you, but I'm not going to do anything about it thing.
Jeremy does the disgusted muck after he's won the hand move
Yeah.
pretty well these days. He's really got that down. Like, ugh, I can't even look at these fucking cards. I'm full of odium.
Yeah, Jeremy is.
You think that's the most successful out of every franchise, though?
Are you sure it's not the most successful franchise?
God, and it's
There's
so
like-
bad,
I
though.
would
It's so
Yeah, but
bad.
just because you make a bunch of them doesn't mean they're all worth a lot. Look, I think the Toy Story franchise or like
No, The Hobbit. The Hobbit. Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings is a big
Limp
one.
this one, Waterboy. Show me what you got.
Star Wars?
Not this time.
How do you know this?
Harry Potter for sure.
Premio has something that he raised with.
Two cards.
No.
There we go.
It's eights.
Avatar, yeah.
The snowman.
This snowman
Frosty and friends.
has. So there's 3 eights,
Movie,
or one snowman is named Friends.
No, it's Frosty, another snowman, and then Cremio. Frosty and friends.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Brewer's got the
I
crabs.
don't mean Toy Story specifically. I mean, I think there are.
He's crab walking in New Orleans with that hand.
Oh hell yeah, baby!
That's what people say, right?
People say that.
Will anyone ever flop a set?
It's a specific.
Yes, and against an open ender.
Well, this could get fun. L-Dog has proven to be very aggressive post-flop when he's got something to work with, and he does.
Yeah, but he usually has something that's already made when he's being very aggressive, and
Looks like he's going to lead.
he's gonna lead. All right, Cremio's
Oh,
gonna.
he changed his mind.
Cremio would have loved to lead, but he's happy to see interest in the pot. You know.
He might get check raised anyway. It's a very reasonable check raising spot for L-Dog.
Totally fine at call too, though.
Yep.
But I really like Paul Rudd.
Both are good. We're very deep. There's a call.
It's not going to be extremely obvious to Cremio if L-Dog gets there.
A 7.
That's a real bad card for
Wow.
L-Dog. Cremio has it locked up now with a full house
Let's see if Cremio sizes it up here.
in hopes that L-Dog has a 5.
Yeah, or even a good jack and just not believing him. Was L-Dog going to lead? This is a very reasonable lead as well.
I
for
think this
L-Dog.
is a pretty good card to lead if
Yep.
you are L-Dog here.
I think so. But
Who
it
he already
checks again.
checked, yeah. Okay.
Cremio bets half pot. I mean, mostly you can call here, but once in a while you get yourself in real trouble like right now.
You can fold and it wouldn't be egregious just because the board pairing is such a bad event for your hand.
Also, you only get there, a little less than 20% of the time anyway, and sometimes getting there is no good as it would be in this case. Just more reasons to throw your hand away, and L-Dog agrees.
A prudent decision.
Nicely played.
Fast and Furious, obviously.
Nicely played. Could have led that turn. Could have check raised that flop. None of those things would have worked out at all.
No, they would have been bad.
Cremio would be sitting there with the effective nuts and loving his life. You've been composing sonnets.
Thinking about what color hat to buy next.
Yeah. He's like, I'm going to stick with orange.
Yeah, but
More orange
like a
hats.
slightly different shade, perhaps.
Like a burnt orange this time, maybe?
Yeah, not as bold, but the subtlety sometimes it really affects people.
Yeah, the nuance of the darker orange really changes people's the way that their texture of relationship.
Their
with me.
chemicals in their brain, they cohabitate differently.
No question, people react differently to colors. We've seen that so
We've
much.
seen it. It's science.
So much.
Alan Turing, etc.
I am watching
Yeah.
He broke the Enigma machine. So it's the burnt
Did he
orange.
create the Enigma machine?
I think Enigma machine was the German machine that
Oh,
created.
is that what it was? Okay.
I think.
I can remember. Top pair for Waterboy, second pair for Blake. This is the kind of thing gets Blake in real trouble. Where he is usually
Last
not a
of Us is
believer.
great. It's like one of
A 9 would, of course, be devastating. We don't get that this time.
No,
I did.
there's 2 outs to. Well, the 9 of clubs. It's really just the 9 of
great series.
hearts that's sorry, the 9 of diamonds
the
that's
best out
devastating
there
for
right
Blake.
now.
So there's only one card
Last of
that's
Us.
really gonna maybe
So
cost him
good.
some money here, some real money.
Here's a fun fact.
But that's a pretty good brick for Waterboy. He's betting again, and I don't see Blake folding
He
this
doesn't
clean. I gotta
believe
tell
that
you, unless the
XRP
bet
is
is
gonna go anywhere.
outrageously big.
And as big as you can go is 430. That's probably enough to get Blake to fold, but
It's Jonathan.
Maybe not.
Blake might think that Waterboy's desperate, having a
All-
bad session.
All the draws miss. 5, 6 misses, clubs miss.
He goes smaller, reasonable when he just has a medium ace.
Game of
Yeah.
Thrones, it becomes the head of the house that tells people how it is.
You hate get snap calls.
Still
Right?
pot size bet.
It's a really good
I suspect we're gonna see a call from Blake, and I don't know that it's wrong. There's the call. As I said, all the draws did miss.
Place and
You're way ahead.
she's from like this tiny little house
Had
in
me
the north.
crushed.
Shows the
scene
queen.
where Jon Snow is like recruiting.
Well, Blake with the check back mitigated some of the damage, perhaps. Probably not. Probably all the same.
Yeah.
2 streets
Yeah,
either way.
No, she was. Yeah, she played like a was she the princess or a queen? I think she was a queen in that.
In Game of Thrones?
Yeah, the
No,
young
she-
girl.
yeah, she was the princess.
A
but she-
noble.
My friend
You had Queen
Tony
9?
felt the NDA
You were in
game
pretty good
in
That's my favorite
LA
hand.
for like years
Well,
and
that was
years
her.
and
You take
years.
advantage of me.
And it was like, anytime, Devin, you want to come down,
Almost
I'll
right.
get you into it. No, but Danielle, he got Danielle into it.
In the Game of Thrones?
Yeah, and it's like Leonardo DiCaprio,
Not in Game of Thrones.
the studio heads, like George, like all of those people. But you have to sign
An NDA.
an NDA.
So some people are.
And the money's not like amazing, but still, and then he.
Looks like L-Dog has something.
So Kevin Hart.
He's
came
considering.
one night and
Looks like a raise.
Is that 100?
Yep, 4x.
my friend Tony had to park his
Gremio folds the 9-7 suited because it's 4x and he did not have last to act.
Right, he's not in the third blind.
the rim or something.
And L-Dog picks up that sweet $40.
You know, that's money.
Yes, that's why
It's
I said
L-Dog's
$40.
money. Don't talk about it.
It's L-Dog's money, but soon it'll be my money.
Oh, yeah? How so?
I don't know. I'm going to write him an invoice or something.
Oh, yeah, and see if he just pays.
Yeah.
Just see if he pays.
People do that, you know. There was
Yeah.
a guy who was invoicing Google and like Apple for years without actually doing any work, and he apparently got hundreds of thousands of dollars out of them.
Wow.
Yeah, you know those big companies. You know,
Yeah.
you know how to do it right.
But obviously he got caught
He did eventually get caught, but I'm sure other people are doing it not getting caught.
until they do.
Right, or never.
Maybe.
Stop trying to steer people away from a life of crime.
All right, you
Grant.
should do fraud.
Grant, don't say something like that. Gonna get us in real trouble. Okay, Brewer's gonna raise these 2 10s, and Blake ain't gonna fold King 3. That's what we know.
Which is reasonable.
Yep. No, everything's reasonable here.
90. So sometimes like if you know, you
No
might
soup
not,
for you.
You might not get to deal for the rest of the night.
You're out.
They have
You're out.
5 dealers.
They bring 5 dealers in for a night?
Yeah, they pull the tips, but they have 5 dealers. Well, but if you get sent home, you don't.
So if somebody's just tired of getting.
Brewer loves that flop.
Oh, yeah.
Ha
Well,
ha ha.
Blake is not in love with it, but he's willing to go on a second date with it. It's
Yeah,
it's,
you
it's
gotta
fine.
see how things develop. That's chemistry picks up.
Brewer with the gut shot and the backdoor flush draw is gonna continue, just to make the hand easier to play for
He-
himself for
he
the
could
most
have
part.
checked that one back too, but
This makes it a little easier to play.
yep. Well, now he's the
That-
King of Hearts comes.
Blake's definitely going for a third date now.
Yeah.
Second date went well.
Is Blake gonna lead?
It's not unreasonable. If
It's
Brewer has
not.
an ace, he will have to call this.
Yeah, I think it's a good lead, even though it's not gonna get. I assume Brewer's folding because you can only beat diamonds and you have a diamond.
Yep, and your straight draw has a lot less value now that the board's paired.
Yep.
And any heart or diamond is not a great straight to make.
You're kind of almost always losing in this spot, so you.
I mean,
so
how
calling
can you be
seems pretty
winning? You
bad.
can be beating 9-10 of hearts.
There could be like baby diamonds that Blake could have, 5, 6 of diamonds or something. Even though we have a diamond, you can still have it. But that's like it.
Brewer is really giving this a thought, but
Yeah.
he does let it go. Seems like a good decision. And that's it.
That's gonna do it for this session. Not just this episode, the session.
Way go,
Poker
bro.
time.
We'll see you next time for
There's
some
more.
more.
There's more.
Bye-bye.